Hello, my name is Julia Pettis, and I am your co host for today's Style Exhibition virtual podcast. And I have the immense pleasure of introducing Bailey Olivas. Now, if I had to describe how I view her, I would basically say, you know how when you open up a door and you invite somebody to come in? She's an individual that I feel like when you invite her in, it's almost like she's just floating on a cloud as she enters the space. Like she's truly a genuine, kind-hearted individual. And I actually met her through our creative outlets. She is a professional agency signed model. And outside of that, she has stepped out and she's doing some other things within her own branding. So Bailey, thank you so much for joining me here today. It is truly a pleasure.
Thank you so much for having me, Julia. Hi, everybody. I'm so grateful to be here. And I just want to say like attracts like, spending time with Julia, she's just as magical as she described me. So I'm so excited to be on here.
Thank you. I appreciate you. So that everybody has an idea, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. I'm first and foremost, I'm a model and actress full-time. I've been doing that for the last almost 9 years now. And that's not always been full-time. It's been on and off over the years. And finally, with a lot of dedication and tweaking and personal branding, I have gotten to a place where I can focus more on what I do creatively, full focus. I'm also very healing and I love energy work. So that's another side to me as well that's in development right now.
So now, when people think about creatives and just some of the things that they do, what do you think is just kind of top of mind? Because as a professional model and actress, you basically have to put on a persona. So how do you kind of put to the side who you are and have to kind of fit this mold of who they want you to be?
That's a great question. I think that it really takes listening to any inspired actions that come up for you, any ideas that come forward, keeping an eye on, what's hot, what's trending, and letting yourself be guided and being willing to evolve and adjust, pivot, adapt to what the industry needs, to what the industry is calling out for. But always remembering to keep an aspect of self integrated, because that's what shines. That's what sets you apart, is when you radically embrace your authenticity while still keeping an eye on, what the industry is demanding at that time. So, when I first started modeling, it really was about separating from self and becoming a character. I had to change my hairstyle quite a bit. I had to recognize that like a shaggy look with bangs was popular when I first started. I went through a phase where I chopped off all my hair to just really let my face stand out and approach a more androgynous version of myself and, share that with the modeling and acting industry. But now we're all shifting collectively to be more authentic, to be more real and own ourselves and own our imperfections. So now we're all luckily in a place where I can full force be myself, bring that to the table, and that's what books.
It's interesting you mentioned the hair changes, because I think I've worked with you through 3 hair changes. Yeah. I remember that shag. And then I also remember the bob with like the red tone to it. So you're right. You have to kind of adapt, but still be yourself. And please don't get it twisted. She is a beautiful individual, but her photos come out fierce. I mean, there's some gorgeous ones, very soft as well, but like you deliver without a doubt.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And it's fun. It's been fun to try on all these different characters. But to finally be able to just have my natural brown hair and be myself in this moment has been awesome. So yeah, I think you just have to be willing to adapt in the creative work and take inspired actions that are true to you.
Mhm.
I think a big part is if a change wasn't true to me, that was felt and that was translated as well on photos and stuff like that. So you really have to like merge self with what the industry needs.
So, taking that into consideration, what would you describe as your personal style outside of what you feel like you have to kind of put on?
Yeah. My personal style today is I like to effortlessly pull myself together. I like to appear effortless. So I like classic, minimal, simple pieces that will, what's the word, like age well.
Hmm.
I'm more into that these days. I like to be comfortable. I'm very healing focused as well. So I like to feel good. That's my style. It's just feeling good and approaching life in an easy, effortless way. And that translates in my style as well.
So, how would you say that that's kind of shaped you? And also moving into your own business ventures, how do you feel like that's shaping your brand?
I think it shapes my brand because I take that approach of ease and apply it into my business. So I like to approach my personal brand, which is really healing focused. I'm into sound healing. So I love like the sound bowls and healing on an energetic level, affirmations, universal laws. I'm into all of that magical stuff and remaining connected to our planet as well. And I think that I just approach my brand now in a more authentic way. So, like hopping on Instagram and filming reels, different than the modeling industry where I'd be really concerned about lighting and how I appear because I'm being chosen based off of appearance. On
Mhm.
my personal brand, I just hop on however I look. You know, if I'm in my comfy clothes, if my hair is pulled up, if I don't have a drop of makeup on, I'll hop on beneath the sunlight and just really be authentic. So it's easy. I just hop on in an easy way.
And I actually saw a couple of those, so I commend you for that because
Thank you.
I'm all about au natural. So I was very proud to see that. I haven't actually talked to you to be able to tell you that I saw it, but I did, and it looked amazing.
Cool. Thanks for checking it out.
Yes, definitely. So tell us a little bit more about, this new direction that you're kind of stepping into with your own brand and what that is exactly and the name of the business and all that good stuff.
Yeah, I would say I'm an energy worker. So just like on set, I channel whatever energy the creative team wants to bring to life, whatever the greater vision is. I channel that into my body, into my expressions, through my movement. And when I'm on set, I really just exude the greater vision to help bring all the pieces together. You know, the makeup artist details, the styling details, the backdrop, the client's needs. So now that applies in my personal brand where I continue to channel energy, but for healing reasons. So I love making my own sounds, you know, using sound tools um, and working that energy through the body and out by producing a sound. I love helping people align to their greatest version of self because I know what it's like to work toward being my greatest version of self and aligning to just like what's true to me, what my interests are, aligning to healing practice and rituals like using affirmations or like how we did together building a vision board, stuff that just helps you keep on track with your goals and your greater mission in life, your life purpose.
So have you already started kind of taking on clients?
Yeah, I've been taking on clients for the last 2 years,
Okay.
going on 3 now. It started with doing readings for people. energy-based reading. So I started with using tarot and oracle. And if for anybody who doesn't know what that is, it's like a deck of cards that have beautiful artwork on them, keywords and phrases. It's very intuitively driven, channeling what the messages are and delivering those messages to the receiver. And so I take on clients and I read them using tarot and oracle, but now I'm at a point where I believe I can hear messaging from what I call spirit guides and our angels on the other side. So that's my personal belief, that we can connect on an energetic level to our loved ones and to our guardian angels, and they're helping guide us.
It's so different to hear you speak in this light, because it's always been very fashion, beauty, entertainment focused. So to now see that you are kind of doing something else is different. So understanding that and understanding, how you go through different phases and transitions, what do you feel like is next for you?
Yeah, it is so different. If you would have told me a few years ago I'd be doing this, I'd be like, no, that's funny, that's silly. It wasn't resonant with me at that time. And that's just, I evolved and I started healing and focusing more on my inner health. I'm really big into mind, body, and soul. And what's cool about the fashion industry is that it really helped me focus on the body and strengthen my mind, because I had to, really maintain mental health in an industry that's so intense and powerful and amazing and unique. That put me in a lot of situations where I was like immersed in new cultures, big cities at a young age. But I've chosen to heal on a soul level over the last few years. And I've shifted into this version of self now, where I am focused on receiving intuitive guidance. So what's next for me as far as projects would be, I'd like to, beyond reading people, I'd like to help be a healing facilitator. So I'd like to host sacred gatherings. So like, play sound bowls in a studio and have people come lay down on a yoga mat, receive sound healing, and just meditate, be still, be at peace with themselves. So I'd like to be a facilitator for sacred events.
So do you think that you'll ever step away from modeling and the acting, or do you feel like that'll still be kind of interwoven into all of the other things that you have going on?
It's so funny because I've tried to step away so many times. Over the years, starting at 18, I'm 27 now, I've tried to step away so many times. And I mean, like, just because I thought I was getting to a phase where I was not resonating with it as deeply as I once was, I was considering, getting a different job. Like I said in the beginning, I'll get, full-time jobs when it gets really slow during my booking process. And then right away, as soon as I put my focus elsewhere, I get calls from this client, this friend, this photographer, and they're like, come back, come back. So I feel like I'm constantly tugged to remain in this amazing creative industry, because we can evolve with it. We can grow, now that I'm shifting into the acting industry, I really want to put my focus there. I love modeling and I love any opportunity to work with a client that has a brand that I'm just in love with. But acting, that performance aspect, is where it's at for me. I love performing. I love connecting. I grew up dancing, so it feels like being on stage again. So I'll probably shift more into the acting industry and forever remain within the creative world, because you can still model when you're pregnant, when you're older.
Right.
It just never ends.
Yeah. So with the acting, do we have like any individuals that we just are on our vision board long term, like, yes, I absolutely want to work with this person?
For acting, I really wanted to book a TV commercial. And what's cool is that Julia and I did a vision board together. And I feel like that's on the vision board in some expression, in some way. And I ended up finally achieving that goal and booking a huge commercial for a casino here in Arizona. And that commercial ended up turning into billboards. And I have like multiple billboards all over the state. So my next goal would be to continue to book TV commercials because I loved filming and being on set in that kind of like small, intimate space.
Okay.
But a larger goal would be maybe getting on a TV show for an episode, and just kind of appearing on TV in that way. My boyfriend, partner, Garrett, he's really into film. He loves doing like pursuing movies and stuff like that. I don't know if I could commit to channeling a character for that long.
Right.
That's the thing about me. It's a huge energetic, takes a toll on my body. So if I choose to be a character for like months at a time, it might really challenge my health, my mental, physical, emotional health. So I have to be mindful of that.
You know what? You bring up a good point, because I don't even remember what movie that was, but I'll never forget Matthew McConaughey. He did a movie, and it's like his appearance when he had to lose so much weight for that role. I mean, I feel like he's never looked like how he looked before that role since, like, because it was a ridiculous amount of weight that he had. And that's kind of scary. And I know there's a lot of actors and actresses that, have to do that if they decide to take on roles. But man, you talk about commitment and how that's going to change you. Like, you never know what those long-term effects might be on your mental or physical health.
Totally. And it's so cool that there are people out there that are passionate enough about it to commit that deeply. But that's the thing is, it requires a huge, you can't identify with self. You have to set self aside. It requires a huge separation of self. And right now I'm all about connecting with myself. So right. I think once I feel more secure in that, maybe I could pursue something like that. But I mean, that is some commitment. And I think it's awesome.
I'll stay on the back end of the camera, because that is not for me. Not at all. Awesome. So with the new projects that you have occurring and wanting to pursue acting more, do you foresee any additional travel? Because I know you used to travel all the time, and you were international for a long time. I want to say that was before COVID. What do you have like in the works as far as that's concerned? Do you feel like you're going to start taking on more gigs in LA and New York, or do you really just kind of want to focus on the healing?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I want to do both. And it's so funny because before COVID, I was traveling constantly, and I wasn't booking as much as I would have liked to book, but I was being immersed in new cultures in big cities, like I mentioned. So I learned so much about myself and about the world that also I integrate into my healing work. So there's such value in traveling and getting out of your state, the country itself. So I really want to keep traveling. I want to get to places with big bodies of water. So I love ocean cities. I love islands and stuff like that. It was a goal of mine this last year to really, I guess, put all of my intention into the Phoenix, Arizona market. Because before COVID hit, I was out of the country. I was in Paris for Fashion Week, and I was working like a showroom for a client out there, and I almost got stuck in Paris.
Oh, wow.
I almost wasn't able to come home, which wouldn't have been bad. I wouldn't have minded being stuck in Paris. But I was like almost like prevented from coming home. So then as we kind of opened our world back up and started working again with people, I really just thought I better just commit and devote my energy into my home base. So this last year, I feel in 2023, I felt like I really dominated the areas of the Arizona market that I wanted to. Now I'd love to start booking more in LA on a grander scale, on an acting scale. And then beyond that, I'd love to get to the water and get out of the US just for fun, for healing reasons. I feel like we can learn so much about wellness in other parts of our world.
So awesome. Well, I won't say too much, but you will be able to see Bailey in a campaign that she and I worked together on. It's actually going to be sprinkled throughout 2024. So I'm really excited about that because she came in clutch and just, like she said, just dominated. She did. She brought that thing to life in the kind of last hour. So thank you again for that. But can you give everybody here your socials or your website, a way to get in contact with you, whether it's for bookings or if it's for your own, healing consultations? So give them all of your contact info.
Yes. Oh my gosh. And it was so fun to do that project together. I got to work with Julia's daughter, and that meant a lot to me as someone who has known her kids just throughout my time growing up, beside Julia myself working with her. And then to get to work with her daughter, who's just as fierce and brought it too.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, to be in a campaign together or a project together is just going to be so awesome. I can't wait to see that. And upcoming, yeah, if you want to stay connected with me, I do have some more acting based and video based projects coming out. I'm really excited. I have a TV commercial coming out for a hair brand. And yeah, my boyfriend and I are in it together. So that's really cool too, to work with people that you love,
And y'all look amazing together. Just side note, but yeah, okay.
Thank you. He's the best. It's really cool being with somebody, and like, with your daughter, working together in the creative industry with somebody that you love. It's just a different experience. And you feel like you can share this piece of yourself now, and they get it. They get what's going on when you're not home.
Yeah. Totally.
My modeling account and acting account is my name, at Bailey Olivas on Instagram. On all the platforms, it's at Bailey Olivas. On TikTok, it's at Bailey Olivas 1. And then my healing work is at Elysion Exchange 111. And that's a long name. You can find the info in my bio of my main account. My website has both brands merged into one.
Okay.
And that's where you can find all of my services. A little bit of my portfolio is on my website as well. So it's baileyolivas.com. If you want to book anything with me, if you need to access any of my agents, I put all my different agents' emails up there. So it's all in one spot on the link in my bio on Instagram.
Awesome. And we will make sure that we put that up at the end as well. Thank you so much, Bailey, for taking time out of your day. I really, really appreciate it. She's a busy woman. She has castings and stuff. So she's going after it. So thank you. I truly, truly appreciate it.
Oh my gosh, anytime. I'm so happy. I love working with you, Julia, and you are just one of my best friends. So thank you for having me.
Always, always, always. Thank you again, Bailey, for joining us today. And thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Style Exhibition virtual podcast. Make sure you tune in next time and see who our follow-up guest will be. Again, I'm going to have all of Bailey's information coming up following this interview. So feel free to reach out to her if you have any projects headed your way. Have a great day.